Okay, ji, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm sure that all of you are fine and enjoying the blessings of your Lord. We have some messages in the chat box. No voice, no voice, no voice. All right. Okay, I'm sure that I'm audible now. So it is 9 p.m. So I was just waiting कि हमारा time definitely जब होगा, only then I will start the session. Okay, participants, the agenda of today's session will be definitely we will conduct 2 pre-planned interviews, and then we will discuss highly important questions that been the part of previous interviews from 16th centuries. Meanwhile, the feedback of the interviews will be in front of you, inshallah. So we have 2 participants today. It's Miss Alina, and the second one is okay. All right, Bilawal. So Mr. Bilawal and Miss Alina, we have Mr. Bilawal and Miss Alina there. If they are there, okay, they have just, let me just mute this sound of Zoom, it's distracting. So we have Miss Alina with us. So without wasting our time, in a moment we will request her to unmute herself and proceed further. But before that, please remember something about 16th century. Whenever we talk about history of English literature, the 16th century or Elizabethan age is considered a highly important age because it is not possible to remove the impacts of Renaissance from the literature. So Renaissance, and etymologically speaking, it was the first age that gave England the rebirth in every possible sector. So we will discuss all these things, inshallah, when we will proceed further towards the questions. We will try to understand the origin of the plays, the wits, university wits, I mean here, Marlowe and Shakespeare, and all the questions that have been the part of previous interviews, inshallah, at the end of today's session. Okay, so Miss Alina is the first participant of today's MOCC session. Miss Alina, you are ready for the MOCC interview? You may unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
So informally speaking, Miss Alina, कैसे हैं आप? ठीक हैं? खैरियत से हैं?
जी सर, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
Okay. और आजकल आपके एरिया में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी तो नहीं जा रही होगी इलेक्शंस की वजह से, लोड शेडिंग तो बिल्कुल नहीं होगी?
नहीं सर, हो एरिया में इलेक्शंस नहीं है तो ज्यादा जा रही है. जिन एरियाज में इलेक्शंस है वहां जा रही होगी, और एक्चुअली शायद मौसम की वजह से भी काफी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सी आजकल लोड शेडिंग है.
All right, sure, mashallah. So that's perfectly fine. आपका अच्छा analysis है. Okay, so formally speaking, Alina, should we proceed further with your interview?
Yes, sir, sure.
आप easy हैं, pressurized तो नहीं है ना?
No, sir.
Okay, so Miss Alina, your name is a unique name. Would you like to of this name, Alina?
Actually, a person has some good behavior actually.
So yes. Alina means good behavior.
Yes, a person having a good behavior actually.
Okay. All right. I have basically perceived different meanings. So I think that the Alina means that is quite close to fairness. I'm talking about the light here, but all right, that's perfectly fine. So formally speaking about your area and about your qualifications, from where you have completed your matriculation and intermediate?
Okay, sorry, sir. I have completed my BS English from Punjab University in. I have completed my intermediate from Punjab Group of Colleges in 2016 and my matriculation from Government College.
All right. Okay. I could not get the last part of your conversation. You have completed your intermediate from Punjab Group of Colleges and
Yes,
BS from
and my
University of Punjab from the main campus.
yes, sir, main campus.
Okay, from the main campus.
Yes,
It's in Qaid-e-Azam campus, if I'm not wrong.
sir.
All right, Miss Alina's voice is. So Miss Alina's voice is clear. Miss Alina is audible to all of you? Okay, yes, she is. Good. Okay, well. So what do you know about the history of University of Punjab's Department of English? In which
Uh,
year exactly this department came into view?
I think so, sir. It was established in 1964, and Professor
Mhm.
Sirajuddin was the the English Department of Punjab University. First of all, its name was the Department of English Language. Nowadays, in 2020 or maybe in 2021, its name has been changed into the Institution of English Languages.
All right. So do you know Professor Dr. Amra Raza?
Yes, sir. She was, but nowadays I think so. Miss Shumaila was the. She is the chairperson of the department.
Okay, yes, that's perfectly fine. Well, being from Punjab University, and Punjab University is considered one of the wonderful institutes in the country. I met Dr. Amra Raza basically. She is a very noble lady, you know. She
Yes, sir. Yes.
she completed her PhD, and that is the first PhD produced by Department of English, University of Punjab. So that's her
Yes.
distinguished Professor Dr. Amar Raza. Okay,
Yes.
and
Yes, sir.
so have you read the thesis of Miss Amra Raza, because she was a very distinguished personality of Punjab University? I'm talking about her MPhil's thesis, her MPhil's research thesis. Have you gone through her work? There's very famous and easily available in the library of Punjab University.
Sir, I couldn't read it, but she was my supervisor in BS thesis. But I couldn't read her thesis or her works.
Well, that's about self-conscious and surveillance strategies. Okay, so I
Okay.
will definitely recommend you to go for that.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
so you're from main city, from Lahore.
Yes.
So in Lahore, there are lots many places. Can you just name out 5 places, 5 Mughal buildings or the architectures that are still there in Lahore?
Yes, sir. The first one is the Badshahi Mosque, Lahore Fort, Shalimar Fort, and there are some historical buildings such as Masjid Wazir Khan, and
Yes.
also some other historical places such as Moti Gate and all these things.
Okay. Do you remember what's about Chiburji?
Yes, sir.
Heard about that? Okay, all right. So, what do you feel the Punjab government has successfully preserved the architecture of Mughal era?
Yes, I think so, sir. When we talk about, especially when we talk about in Lahore, the historical buildings which exist in Lahore, I think so. The government has preserved all these materials, all the buildings, and working for it. Uh, Repeat your question.
In Liberty.
No, sir, I have not visited it.
Okay, so can you name out 5 personalities from Lahore who were writing in English?
Writing in English.
5 personalities from Lahore who were writing in English.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, 5 personalities from Pakistan who were writing in English. That
Yes, sir.
wider the scope.
Okay, sir. 5 personalities writing in English.
Yeah, from Pakistan.
Okay.
Okay, let's skip this question. Maybe you want to mention Bapsi Sidwa, Muhammad Hanif, Mohsin Hamid, Kamila Shamsi, Jalil Ahmad, Daniel, Muhyiddin, Ahmed Ali. All these people, they were contributing from Pakistan. So, have you read any Pakistani fiction? What are your hobbies? What do you do in your leisure time?
Actually, sir, I sometimes watch some vlogging on YouTube.
Okay, that's very good.
Sir, and I really like the
I'm sorry to come again as I could not get you.
She said my favorite vlogger is Sabah Ibrahim. She belongs to India, but she is a Muslim girl.
I'm sure that you're interested and you have watched Luke's Jam, who's a very much he visited Pakistan, Australia, and nowadays he's there in Sri Lanka. Okay.
Sir, I have
you
not seen any videos.
Okay. Uh,
Vlogging, I mean, actually, it's a process in which a person holds a camera and she shows all their routines with the audience, and he shares his views, and sometimes he talks about various topics and
Is it a verb or it's a noun?
Vlogging?
Yes, vlog.
Vlog is a noun, vlogging is a verb.
Okay, so would you like to go back in the etymological reasons? What do you think about video log? Because it's your hobby, so that's the reason we are going in the details. Is there any difference in video log and vlogging?
Video log and vlog. No, sir, sorry, I don't have an idea about it.
Okay, so any idea about the history of vlogging? You know, it is the very recent product of social media. So can you just pinpoint, randomly speaking, the years that you feel that yes, it is the climax of vlogging because it's your hobby, and I'm sure that you have watched a lot many videos, so you know a bit about the history. So what's about the climax of vlogging?
Sir, would you like to repeat your question? I'm not getting your question.
My question is, I want to know about the history of vlogging. When it was, can you pinpoint some years that it was started back in 1990, 95?
in 20s or 2005 to 10 between.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Okay, so we can publish the books, the literature, a lot many things. So, do you feel vlogging may be a best option, a better option when we want to spread the literature? So, how vlogging can help us in separating the literature?
Yes, sir. I think so. We can take and we can consider vlogging in this regard, that we can learn and we can spread literature if we are interested to use vlogging in this regard, because there are a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of people who are using their channels to spread the literature. So in this regard, we need to consider our interest. If we are interested in literature, that we are taking literature as our hobby, so we can take it positively and we can spread literature through vlogging, because it is not just a perspective of education, it is also an hobby. So I think so it is a good advice to use vlogging and to use videos to spread literature, and we can also do it.
Because you're interested in vlogging, so I'm sure that you have watched the list of 250 highly rated movies on IMDb. That is a very famous list. So, and you have gone through the 9+ rating of Shawshank Redemption, that is based on a book, and The Godfather, that is once again based on a book. So, have you gone through these cinematic versions of the novels, the Shawshank Redemption?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. So, what is your favorite genre where you're interested actually?
Actually, sir, novel is my favorite genre.
Why novel? You're interested in vlogging, so in vlogging, people used to roam here and there. So in novels, yes, the stories are there, but sometimes don't you feel the poetry maybe that is going to be the cake of your choice? So you're not
Sir, but
interested in poetry. Why novel? Why not poetry?
sir, in novel, I really like the whole description, how the characterization of the characters which is provided by the writers. I really like the characterization and the
So,
whole
but the
descriptions all.
characterization is possible in poetry. Remember about the father of English poetry, that is a Chaucer. Even the characterization is there. He's very famous for the art of characterization. So
Yes,
is
sir.
just the characterization the reasons for choosing, for preferring, for putting
Characterization,
novel over poetry?
the characterization, the overall, the description, and how the plot of this novel. I really like the plot, how the events take place, all these details. I'm really impressed by, or I very inspired by all these details. Inclined
Fair
toward.
enough. What is the history of the novel? Can you tell English literature?
Yeah, the word novel is taken from the French word novella, and the first novel of English literature was Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe.
Okay. So, all right, fair enough. Do you feel, are you sure about that it is a French word, that is novel?
I think so. French word.
Right, we your things. So, Robinson Crusoe, you have mentioned. So, don't you feel Crusoe when he is living on an island and staying there for years, for decades, he is promoting colonialism in this way. When he is staying on that island, what Crusoe is doing? So Daniel Defoe is giving you just a picture, and he is promoting colonialism. Have you read Robinson?
Sorry, sir, I have not read it.
Okay, you haven't. Okay, all right. So, what is the name of your favorite writer, favorite novelist?
So my favorite novelist is Charles Dickens.
Once again, why Dickens? Don't you feel so Dickens is an orthodox, a classical person who's just highlighting the problems of the people in Oliver Twist, whatever we are having, this war, bloodshed, and a tale of two cities and all those things. So girls, they when they take Dickens, don't you feel that Dickens is not a reasonable character here? So why Dickens?
Sir, I think so. When we talk about the Charles Dickens and his works, he's just portraying the actual picture of that era in which he was living. He's talking about the Victorian era, and in most of his novels, he's talking about the poverty, the poor situations of the poor people of the Victorian era, and all these things that time. The Oliver Twist was really bad, but at the end, when we talk about Oliver Twist, at the end, he gets whatever he wants to get. Or in fact, he lives a very successful, very with his all these miseries of the life. He's just portraying what was there in that time.
Okay, all right. Read A Tale of Two Charles Dickens.
Sir, I A Tale of Two Cities.
So you have read The Tale of Two Cities.
Sir, I said I have not read it. I
You
have
haven't.
read Oliver Twist with text.
Okay, what do you mean when we say it was the best of the time, it was the worst of the time, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness? So Dickens is a universe. After reading this particular quotation, do you feel that particular quotation was for us, for Pakistani people, for today's world? Is there any relevance?
Yes, sir, definitely. When he talks about it is the best of time, it is the worst of the time. I think so. He's talking about the Industrial Revolution, the French Revolution, basically. So the
What is French Revolution?
revolution is basically the revolution which comes in France. So when he says the best of them, me it is about benefits of that time, the benefits which revolution and the advantages and the disadvantages all eras.
All right. So, French Revolution and the literature after French Revolution changed the whole world. So, how you
Yes.
can relate the French Revolution and American War of Independence? You know, when American War of Independence was happened, when it occurred, American War of Independence.
Sir, if I'm not wrong, it's 1789.
All right. You're talking about French Revolution, but I'm asking the date of the War of American Independence. Okay, that is 1776, by the way. So, don't you feel the War of Independence of America and the French Revolution, they gave us romanticism? Is it so? How you are going to relate these two ideas? Like the wars were there, but after that we have romanticism. So, do you feel there's any relationship between the
Yes, definitely.
movement, romanticism, and literature?
Romanticism is basically the product of the French Revolution. French Revolution, there was also some disadvantages of French Revolution was always there. So after the French Revolution, the writers come to this idea of romanticism, the idea of talk about their feelings, to think about as a person, to take up men as a person. So definitely the idea. So we can say that the romanticism comes after the French Revolution, and the basis of Revolution and American war.
That's an excellent explanation, by the way. That's very good. So last two questions, Miss Alina. You can use the whiteboard. Okay, I'm just stopping my screen here. You are supposed to teach daffodils to the class. So you just need to, okay, just let me stop sharing. You just need to click on your screen. There's a share option. Just click on the share option. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Miss Selena, let me check. You are taking your class on your mobile phone. Okay, so just
Yes.
click on the share option. Okay, no, at the bottom there is a share whiteboard option. Just click on it. Share
Yes,
whiteboard. Okay, there's a whiteboard. Okay, no, you can see a pencil is there in front of you. You can just, check your pencil here. And after that, you are supposed to teach us any poem of your choice. Maybe just a couplet is more than enough here. Any poem of your choice.
Sir, actually, I'm also I have studied linguistics, so I am not able to teach poetry. Actually, I have not prepared.
Okay, just leave poetry. What do you mean? What do you understand? Sentence of this by fits and by fits and starts. By fits and starts. Okay, no worries. Once in a blue moon.
Okay, once in a blue moon means not every day. To do something not every day, on a very occasional days.
Okay, just the class is there in front of you. You are supposed to explain this particular idiom, once in a blue moon.
Okay. Okay, there is an idiom, once in a blue moon, once in a blue moon. It's basically an idiom which means that we use this idiom when we want to talk about some events which or some works which we'll do on a very rare basis, not every day. For example, once in a blue moon is, for example, I went to a zoo once in a blue moon.
All right, fair enough. Last question. What is the difference between adjective and adverb?
Okay, sir. Sir, adjective is basically word which tells us about some characteristic of a noun or a pronoun. So the word tall is basically tells us the characteristic and the ability of the word noun, which is boy.
You're not going to use the whiteboard. You're not going to use the whiteboard.
Should I use it?
Yeah. That is the reason we have allowed you. So you should use the whiteboard.
Okay, sir.
Just click on the pencil and the pencil will be there. You can write whatever you want to.
Okay. So he is a tall boy. So in this sentence, the word tall is an adjective, because what is adjective? Adjective is a word which describes our noun or which tells us about some characteristic of a noun. So in this sentence, he's a tall boy. The word tall tells us about the word boy. It gives us some, it tells us which gives us some information about the word boy, who is a noun. And now when sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Alina. We are running short of time. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful discussion. So you may stop sharing your screen.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go back to the whiteboard. So let's end this formal discussion. आप अभी सांस ले सकते हैं easily. Okay, so coming back to the discussion. So what do you feel? आपका कैसा exposure रहा? थोड़ा मुश्किल था? Questions मुश्किल थे? या easy रहा आपका? अब मिस अलीना ने शायद खुद को म्यूट कर लिया, हम इन्हें अनम्यूट करते हैं। जी मिस अलीना।
Yes, sir. Actually, उस तरह से क्वेश्चन की एक ही राइटर प्रिपेयर किया था, उसका एक ही वर्ड की बेसिकली किया था, चार्ल्स डिकेंस को, अमेरिकन और फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन को मैंने प्रिपेयर किया था, लेकिन उनको नहीं मैं कर सकता। इसके अकॉर्डिंग अगर मैं देखूं तो बहुत अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सा था और बहुत अच्छा नहीं था।
अच्छा, चले हम दोनों चीजों की बात करते हैं मिस अलीना, प्लस पॉइंट्स की बात करते हैं। Whenever you would talk about the plus point, आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अच्छी हैं, सो ये डेफिनेटली आपको एज इन्होंने दिया इस इंटरव्यू में। आपने जो आपकी हॉबी थी, ये आपकी हॉबी थी और आप इसको जस्टिफाई कर पा रहे थे, ठीक है। आपने काफ़ी इस पे जो है, जब वी लॉगिंग की तरफ जाते हैं या जब जो है हम कैल की तरफ जाते हैं, कंप्यूटर्स की तरफ जाते हैं, सोशल मीडिया की तरफ जाते हैं, तो कोशिश करें कि वी लॉगिंग एक अच्छी हॉबी है, लेकिन इसमें कुछ ऐसे लोगों को ज़रूर आप जो हैं वो मेंशन करें जो लिटरेचर से रिलेटेड हैं, जो हमारे पास जो हैं वो ऐसी साइट्स को विजिट करते हैं डेफिनेटली जो कि हिस्टोरिकल प्लेसेस हैं और जिनका किसी न किसी किताब में भी जिक्र आ गया। तो अच्छा है, आपको अपनी हॉबी पे ग्रिप है, आपको लाहौर की एंशिएंट बिल्डिंग्स के बारे में पता है, सो यू आर अवेयर ऑफ योर ओन सिटी, दैट्स वेरी गुड। आपकी ग्रेस्प अच्छी है अपने हिस्ट्री के मुतालिका जो है, यहाँ तक अच्छा है। आपकी परफॉर्मेंस ऑन बोर्ड भी ठीक है और ईडीएम्स को एक दफ़ा ज़रा देख लीजिएगा। ये काफ़ी बुरा इंप्रेशन जाता है क्योंकि ये इजी से ईडीएम है। बाय फिट्स एंड स्टार्ट्स का मतलब होता है कि इरेगुलर स्टार्ट करना, जिसमें ये बड़ा बेसिक सा ईडीएम था। सो जब आप वी लॉगिंग की बात करते हैं तो शायद सिनेमैटिक वर्जन भी देखिए कुछ नॉवेल्स का, कुछ जो आपकी जो भी नॉवल हॉबी है, वी लॉगिंग भी जो है नॉवल फेवरेट जॉनरा है, वी लॉगिंग हॉबी है, तो ये क्वाइट ऑकवर्ड सा लगता है कि आपने किसी मूवी को ही नहीं देखा हुआ, कोई सिनेमैटिक वर्जन ही नहीं देखा हुआ, ठीक है। तो सारे इनके ऊपर जो है वो शायद आप देखें। ये खैर अच्छी बातें भी हम कर रहे थे। इम्प्रूव आपको करने की ज़रूरत है अपने मज़ीद हिस्ट्री के एरियाज़ को। हिस्ट्री से मुराद मेरी यहाँ पे ये है कि आपने वी लॉगिंग को लिया, लेकिन ये थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल है हैंडल करना। अगर कोई इसमें डोमेन काफ़ी ज़्यादा है, वी लॉगिंग से मुराद ये है कि आप इसको लिमिटाइज कर लीजिए, नैरो कर लीजिए। आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस। अब वी लॉगिंग की तो 1000 टाइप्स हो सकती हैं, इनमें से नैरो डाउन करें कि आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर वी लॉगिंग और मैं इस तरह के व्लॉग्स को देखती हूँ, मेरे ये जो है वो हॉबी, और मैं इसे इसलिए देखती हूँ कि ये क्या एक वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम तो नहीं है, ठीक है। चार्ल्स डिकन एक अच्छी चॉइस है, जस्टिफाई करना उसको सीखिएगा। आप जस्टिफाई नहीं कर सके, आप चार्ल्स डिकन को जस्टिफाई बड़े अच्छे से कर सकते थे, क्योंकि उसका जो वर्क है वो आप जानते हैं कि हमें जब हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड पता चलता है फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन का। आपने उसका टेक्स्ट नहीं पढ़ा हुआ था, ए टेल ऑफ टू सिटीज का, और फेवरेट हो और ए टेल ऑफ टू सिटीज का टेक्स्ट ना पढ़ा हो, ये इंप्रेशन जो है वो काफी बुरा चला जाता है। कोशिश करें कि चार्ल्स डिकन को जब पढ़ते हैं तो इन टेक्स्ट को जरूर देखें। असल जो चीज़ जिसने बहुत इम्प्रेस किया और जो आपके इंटरव्यू में भी होगा और जहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स ज़्यादा वीक होते हैं, दैट इज दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट कि आपने यहाँ पे जस्टिफाई कर लिया कि हम सभी जानते हैं उनकी प्रोडक्ट थे 1776 में अमेरिकन वार ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, लोगों को दबाया। जब ये दबाया तो उसके बाद लोग जब उठे, जब तब लोग जो हैं वो उठे थे और तभी जाकर लिटरेचर के अंदर भी लोअर लोग जो हैं वो ऊपर आए थे। विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ हिस्ट्री कॉलेज फिर ये जो है वो आम लोगों की बातें करते हैं और हमारे पास पोइट्री जो है पहली दफा आती है कि एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ लाइफ के तौर पर। सो दैट्स वंडरफुल। आपका इंटरव्यू ओवरऑल एक अच्छा इंटरव्यू था। सो हम जो हैं वो इसको अगर रेट करें तो वी आर स्टैंडिंग समवेयर एट 66 और 67। तो आप इस इंटरव्यू 66 से 67 मार्क्स इजीली एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, ठीक है जी। बट ये इतना अच्छा नहीं था कि हम 70 से 1 साल के थे, तो शायद हमें इस पर जो है वो मजीद वर्क करने की जरूरत है. सो थैंक यू सो मच अलीना, यू मे म्यूट योरसेल्फ. सो बिलावल हमारे पास जो है वो नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट हैं. अगर आप स्क्रीनशॉट लेना चाहें ये रैंडम से पॉइंट्स का तो ले सकते हैं. सो बिलावल इज देयर. बिलावल, यू आर जस्ट रिक्वेस्टेड टू mention yes in chat box. Okay, so Bilawal sir is there. Bilawal, please do unmute yourself. So Bilawal sir, कैसे हैं आप? ठीक हैं?
Yes sir.
आप ठीक हैं बिलावल साहब? मैं आपको अभी सुन पा रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir. I am audible?
Yes, you are Bilawal. So how are you, Bilawal?
I am fine. I am actually very good right now and I am feeling good.
That's very good. That's fantastic, Bilawal. So आप जो हैं you're feeling very good. What's about your circumstances? What's about the election? Is there any by-election plan in your area?
No, not in my area. In the Lahore side, there are elections, but not in my region. So we are free from that.
Okay, so you're free from that. What's the name of your area, Bilawal?
My area is basically the area of Iqbal, Sialkot.
Okay, so you're from Sialkot. That's fine. Okay, Bilawal. So Bilawal, आजकल सियालकोट से जम्मू के पहाड़ नजर आ रहे हैं. I'm sure that you are enjoying that particular scenery.
Yes, sir. I have seen that thing, but from Facebook because I don't go outside much. I stay at the home most of the time.
That's very fine. That's very good. So Bilawal, formally speaking, we should proceed further with the interview.
Yes, sir. We should start the interview now.
Okay. Bilawal, I want to know about your last qualification and the name of your alma mater, from where you have completed your last degree.
Well, my last qualification is BS English in Literature, and I have done it from Government Murray Graduate College in affiliation with University of Gujarat.
Oh, you've been the student of Professor Naseer Ghazi Sahab.
Yes, I am one of the students.
Okay, so you know, Murray College is a historical college.